Hello, my name is Pat Dirkse, and I am the 3DM Hub Leader for Los Angeles and also the pastor at City Church of Compton. I can remember a little over 7 years ago, after we launched our church, hearing Mike Green give a talk at a learning community about the 3 economic engines you find in the New Testament. The first one that he began to share about was in the area of giving. And giving would be looking at the tithes and offerings that are oftentimes given in a local setting, or if you're a new start or a parachurch ministry, this is casting a vision and receiving funds from others. In the area of share, we see examples like in Acts 2 and Acts 4 where there are no needy people among them because people did not treat their possessions like their own and they were sharing them. And then finally we see it in the area of make. And make, a good example of this is Paul, who is a tent maker. And there are multiple reasons he is doing this, but one of the reasons he shares is so that he would not be a burden to anyone among him. So over the years, we've watched people argue of which way is the best way to live into each one of these, and it's really not an argument because all 3 of them are biblical. The more important question that each of us need to ask is, God, how do you uniquely want to fund the ministry you are calling me to? You see, the days in which people are working one job are getting less and less. Out of necessity, we find people who are working 2, 3, or even 4 jobs. And as I talk with some of them, most often I hear them share that they are doing one job that they're called to, which in many cases is vocational ministry. And as they do this, they're doing another job which they really don't like, just so they can pay the bills through the one that they really love. And what we want to return people to is really in the times of which you hear people talk about freelancing. Now, a freelancer is oftentimes someone who does multiple jobs, but they do multiple jobs because they feel like the one area or organization can't contain all that God has called them to step into. And one of the things we're finding along the way is that when we live an integrated life and begin to apply what God has called us to do in all these areas, we're finding even more breakthrough in the ministry that people are doing. And so over the last 7 years, we have just found on our own journey that we started as a church who needed to raise a lot of support like many church plants do. And we've learned to live into the area of receiving funds from people as others gave to a cause that we were doing. In addition to that, we've learned to live as a radically generous community as more and more people are sharing tools and lawnmowers and their vehicles. We have a community car that people oftentimes talk about, and then also rooms in their houses. And then finally, what more people are needing to step into on a framework is, what are they supposed to do to make money? And we feel like God is calling people to make money and to live in the integrated life of both their vocational ministry and in other areas. And over the last few years, we've learned to step into this by being a vocational ministry, by also being a coach and a consultant. And then over the last few years, we started a new company called City Catering, which is a catering company that does smoked meats, sides, and sweets to people. And so part of what we want to offer this is a coaching that invites people into asking the question, God, how do you uniquely want to fund what you're calling me to? If you want to learn more about this, I'd love to talk to you, and we at 3DM would love to share more of our story.